do that. Okay, I'm live now, but I'm just going to send a tweet. Because that's what I do. Hello dreamers, this is Somnia's Alarm. We are in Kerbal Space Program. I'm so excited for this. You do not even understand. I am here with Samphorea, who's on the line here.
Hello.
I thought I had you mid-bite. Hey, Hungry.
You did.
I did. I've got really good timing. And then Hungry's joining us in chat. Awesome, Hungry. So glad to see you. Had a real fun time. Oops, I did not mean to click that. Had a real fun time in your stream yesterday. So I'm really glad you could join us. This is Kerbal Space Program. Basically what we're going to be trying to do is get to orbit today. So I'm going to kind of take you through the things you need to know so that you can get to orbit. The first thing we're going to need to do, you need to find each of these buildings you can kind of hover over and highlight. And one of the first things you need to do is go into this little tiny building here. It's like your mission control building. And this is where you get like your missions and stuff. So you can come in here. We're going to say, okay, we're going to launch our first vessel. It's going to give us some money. It's going to give us science. We're all about the science in this. And we're going to gather data. Yeah, and he agrees with you. So, yeah, the sounds are really funny in this, like just a little. Okay, okay. So we just went into the building to build our spacecrafts, and all your parts are kind of over on the side here.
Okay.
Sam's boom.
Oh, look at them all wandering around.
Sam's boom cannon. That's what I'm gonna call it.
That is the best name I think there has ever been for a magnificent flying machine.
Okay.
Started early with the song.
That's okay. Okay, so the first thing you want to put is a command module. So this is like the thing that the Kerbals actually sit in. They like sit in here.
Okay.
The controls are a little bit weird because like it's designed for a rocket. So like the wheel moves you up and down, and then if you want to zoom in, you got to do like shift and zoom in, and yeah, different stuff like that. So it's a little weird, but that's okay. We are going to put...
Are we just going to have one of them?
Just one of them, yeah. So this can hold one Kerbal. So I can actually go in...
Oh, not on his own!
Yeah. We're going to go with Valentina.
Are we only sending one?
Well, it's not going very high.
Okay. I don't want him to be scared.
I'm going to put one of these. So what I'm doing is kind of just building up my rocket right now. Since we don't have parts that can separate stuff, so this is just going to be landing like straight on the ground, and this engine might explode. So I want to keep this girder thing here so that it doesn't blow them up.
Yeah.
And then we need a parachute.
That's the mission.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so... Yeah, and then the last thing you want to do is you want to stage the rocket properly. So with the more complicated rockets, it's going to get a little bit more complex. But for now, we're just saying, okay, first thing, you want to fire your engine, and then you want to fire the parachute. And that's pretty much it. Okay. And then we might as well do some science while we're here. Yeah, I could just put that. Yeah, right there. Or you know what? I'll put it up here. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. So this is basically our rocket. This is a mod up here. So if you want to install like this gives you a bit more information for like what the rocket's actually doing.
Okay.
And it's really engineering. Like it's got a lot of like units and torque, and so like there's a lot of stuff in here, but the big thing to look at is delta V. This is what you need. And this tells you like how much total power this thing has. And it actually doesn't have all that much. You need about, I think it's like 4,000 or 4,500 meters a second to get to orbit. So we'll see how to do that a little bit later. Once we get more parts, we'll be able to do that. And we could add cameras too. Do you want to add a camera?
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool?
Yeah.
Which one do we want to add? I think this one might work. Let's see, I can't remember if I know how to actually like switch to that view. I think I remember, but we'll see. Okay. If not, it's okay. Okay, so we'll launch.
Just decoration, if not.
Yeah. All right. So we're on the launch pad. And you got the nice view of Valentina. She's able to like show us like what she's doing. And to actually start, we just have to Jeez, it's been so long I can't even remember how to do like everything. Okay, there we go. So to turn the throttle up and down, you need shift and control, which is really tricky if you have sticky keys on. Because like I used to get the sticky keys pop up all the time when I was playing this. So I would recommend if you're playing this, turn that off. So I usually turn my thrust way up, but this is actually a solid rocket, so it actually just has like one setting, like just go. We won't actually be able to control it like at all. So hopefully it doesn't like spin out on us. It shouldn't. I think it'll go straight. So yeah, that's basically it. We can go. You ready for this?
I'm scared. I'm scared for our Kerbal.
Yeah.
I have everything. I have faith.
It's funny watching the reactions. Like, that's the funniest part. Especially, like, the pilots seem to get into it. Like, the pilots really like spaceflight and stuff, so they get all happy and, like, look at her. She's, like, happy. But the engineers... she's ready. The engineers and the scientists, they get like terrified until they're in orbit, and then they're like all awed and stuff. It's really funny. Okay, we'll turn that on. So this is like a flight computer, but whatever. I don't think it'll do that much for us right now, but maybe a little bit. We'll see. Okay, so we'll go. Here we go. So I'm just going to take a bit of science here. Keep the data. We could go into map view.
Oh, there we go. I'm a bit delayed.
You're a bit delayed? Yeah, I figured you would be.
Yeah.
But can't do much about that.
No,
so you can see.
Happy.
Yeah.
Like crazy happy. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like I'm a little bit scared how happy she is.
Let's go ahead and deploy shoot. And then I'm just going to grab a crew report. So it's all about the science. We want to get as much science as possible. I guess I could speed it up a little bit. There was a point when if you sped it up, it would create, like, do some weird physics stuff. And, like, you could have your whole ship blow up and stuff because of that. But I think they pretty much fixed that.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on the ground. And while we're here, let's just roll you over. And oh, I forgot. This is the camera view. I totally forgot. So you can look at, like, all the different views. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to... let's see. I'm going to get you to do an EVA. Take data. And then do an EVA report. Sorry, I'm just getting some data. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get science so that you can get new parts. And if I...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I should have explained that.
That's all right.
So I'm just going to... Yeah, just drop her down. You can move around and stuff. And I'll get
do you have a certain budget and stuff to stick to as well?
Yeah. You it depends.
I thought I saw somewhere that it showed a cost.
Yeah, it depends. This is your budget right now, so this is the amount of money we have. But it depends on, like, which mode. You can go into just, like, pure build mode, and it's like a creative mode in Minecraft, and you can basically like do whatever you want, sort of thing. I don't think I'll be able to get you back up here. Oh, I can. You bored? Yeah, so, like, you can get different modes and stuff. Let's see if we can get another crew report. Can. Okay. Yeah, so you can do kind of, like, all sorts of different stuff. I'm just going to recover vessel. Okay, there we go. I'm done that. Now I can talk a bit more. Okay. So you can get, like, different modes. There's a science only mode, so you don't have to worry about cost, but you still have to do, like, the science teching and stuff. And as an example of that, you kind of see, like, how much science we gathered with that mission with the screen here. So in, like, 3 seconds for you. 1, 2, 3. It's there. We gotta figure out a way to, like, get you, like, not what's it called? Not delayed or something. That's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna take you into the R&D building. So this is where you actually go and spend your science. So you're collecting all your science so you can get new parts. And there's, like, a huge tech tree here. It's really big, and there's even parts like if you go into some of these more advanced stuff. Let me see here. So there's, like, different surface scanners. There's different propulsion stuff. Yeah, it's a big tech tree. It's like a tech tree in, like, Civ 5 or something, but it's for rocket science instead of just, like, whatever. Okay, so we have 26. So I'm actually going to get... Okay, so I'm gonna get engineering and basic rocketry. So these are our first two missions. And
Yeah.
I want to get to general rocketry because oh, I do have a decoupler. Okay, never mind. Okay, I want to get to general rocketry because it has a bigger fuel tank and it has a better engine. It has an engine that can actually like control where I'm flying, which is actually kind of important.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's something we want to get to. I mean, I could go for survivability, but I don't really need it. I think I'll be fine without it, so that's fine. So let's go into mission control. And you can see that we've actually finished these two missions that we had selected.
Yeah.
So what I was able to do was by accepting these missions and completing it, we got the money, we got the science and that sort of stuff, and now we can actually go and do other stuff.
Okay. Do you only get the missions if you're in career mode?
Yes. I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Or you might be in science mode. I think that might work as well. But I'm not
okay.
terribly certain. Yeah, I think you can get it in science mode. Although I haven't really played anything but career mode, so I'm not too certain.
Yeah.
A couple of these are actually pretty nice. Okay, so test the stack decoupler and test the heat shield. They're actually kind of nice because you can do that on the ground. So when it says like landed at Kerbal, you could just do it right on the launch pad.
Okay.
So I'm just going to show you. So our second flight isn't actually going to be a flight. It's just going to be us on the launch pad.
Okay.
So let's go into here, and we're just going to be trying to get just a little bit more science. I might not even need this. So I'm going to just grab Science Junior. So this is like a science bay. It's like a materials bay. And you get to do like a whole bunch of materials study with it. I mean, it's all about the science. It's really is. Let's see what else. Oh. Yeah, we'll try that. And then we need one more thing. The stack decoupler. There we go. But I don't want you... Sometimes it's tricky, like, getting them to be the right way that you want it, sort of thing. Like, okay, so we'll put that there. That might not be good, but...
Don't you go killing any Kerbals.
I'll try not to. Okay, I think that'll work. I have no idea. We'll try it. I don't think it'll... Sam's less boom cannon.
Oh, not quite as much boom.
Yeah, well, there's no engine on it, so it's not as big of a boom, right?
Okay. Yeah, there's no boom.
No boom. It should have been the no boom cannon. That's funny.
No boom cannon.
No
Just
boom.
a poof.
Yeah. Because that's basically what it's going to be right now, because I don't even need that. Okay, so I can do run test, and this is going to complete my contract. So this shows your contracts, and it shows you like all sorts of stuff that you can test. So now we want to test this. That was the right one, right? Oh, through the staging sequence. Oh well. Okay, well, we'll get some science anyways. We're going to recover it all anyways. So, the reason that didn't work for this one is because it says you need to do it through the staging sequence, so like through this thing, which means that just by activating it like I did, it didn't actually do anything. Yeah. So, my bad. Okay. We've done the science here. I could take a crew report, but I don't need it, so that's fine. Okay, I think we're all done. Yeah, like half the beginning is just getting the science so you can get the parts to basically start. And that's pretty much it. So let's see, we've got 24. We can get this one here. And we won't be able to get any of these things. Yeah, we'll have to wait for the next one. I think that might be enough to get to orbit, though. We'll see. Okay, so this stuff is not needed. This isn't needed. So we're going to try to go to orbit this time. So we're going to put a couple of these pods on here. And then we need a way to separate the command module. So this is the only part that's going to be coming back. Everything else beyond here, we're going to be throwing away.
Okay.
I don't know if we're actually going to make it to orbit. I think we might only make it like a suborbital thing. So that means just kind of going up 100 kilometers and then coming back. But we'll see. Okay. Here's where you kind of got to watch like your delta V's and that sort of stuff. We're able to see how much delta V we have. And now if I start creating a new stage here, so I add a decoupler, so that means it's going to stage there. And if I add a few more fuel tanks, like so, and put an engine on there, okay, so this is 1.6 kilometers a second of delta V. So this is definitely not going to get us to orbit.
No.
Yeah. No.
It sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot, but you need like 4.5 kilometers a second, or 4. I usually go for 4.5 because it tends to be kind of the right. It gives you a little bit of leeway and stuff, which is always good.
Yeah.
But I think this will be enough to get to actually get to space. So let's go ahead and do that. I might almost want to Let me just see here. Oh. One thing you want to do is you want to add fins. So I'm going to add those on the bottom. The reason why is because these, the command module actually has like a way to control the spacecraft. So your Kerbal actually has like a little bit of like steering ability, but not very much. So you want to add fins just to give it a little bit of stability, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add one more fuel tank here. I think it was faster the other way. Yeah, see, it had more delta V, so bigger isn't always better with rockets.
Yeah.
That's the motto, I guess. Why is that funny? I don't get why that's funny.
Because usually big is always better.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Sam says bigger is better.
Oh, a rocket looks so cute though. It just needs to be purple.
It needs to be purple. I'm sure there's mods that can make it purple. I'm sure there's mods.
That would be amazing. And have like sparkles coming out of the engines as you're flying.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. That's an awesome
idea. Not very fuel
idea.
efficient, but it would be brilliant.
You know what? Okay. When I went to school or when I went to university, I had a prof who did like propulsion science, like rocket science and explosions and this sort of stuff. And no joke, one of the projects that he used to work on a lot, and I'm sure he still works on it, is adding like magnesium into rocket fuel so that it would burn a little bit faster. But like, I'm sure you could find different metals that burn like pink and white and like different stuff, and it would look really cool, and you could probably actually get it to be pretty efficient.
Hell yeah. Who wouldn't want to ride in that with like green and blue flames shooting out back? It would be incredible.
That would be awesome. That would be really cool.
Just like, you could have like decals on the side of just like your face just on it, like, hey. Rather than NASA, you could just have my face.
Just your face. That'd be awesome.
This is why the Martians weren't taught to us.
We need to have decals and you need to redesign the rovers.
They'd see it and be like, hey, you know what? That looks pretty fun. Let's go. Look, they've got multicolored flames coming out their rocket. Let's go to Earth.
That looks like a party over there.
That's how we entice them in. Exactly. They probably think we're boring.
Yeah.
It's another white one. They've got those orange flames again. We're not going there.
Oh my god, that's too funny. That is so funny. More colorful spacecraft.
What team into my front door now and just like take me out? Stop telling everybody the secrets. Sorry, NASA. Sorry.
Oh, that's too funny. Okay, I am ready for launch. Are you ready for launch?
Let's go.
Hopefully we're gonna get to space this time. Do I actually have a mission? I don't have a mission. Oh, hold on. I'm just gonna go back and make sure I have a mission for this.
Okay. So how far up is space? Like how high would we have to go? Yeah.
For this one, it's or for Kerbal, it's 70,000 feet. Yeah, they do everything in feet here, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, meters. 70,000 meters.
Oh, okay.
So it's 70 kilometers. for like real space, I actually wrote a blog article about this like a while back. Do you remember when there was like somebody who like was skydiving and it was like from
they jumped
space?
From like the edge of space or something.
Yeah, he called it the edge of space like jump or something. And it was like with Red Bull or something on the side. And
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They sponsor everything.
Yeah. So it was really impressive, like technologically, and like it was cool. And he went up to about 133,000 feet, which was about 33 kilometers. Now,
is that it?
Yeah. The problem I had with that was there is a pretty well-defined like edge of space, which is 100 kilometers.
Yeah.
More or less. I mean, it kind of varies because that's... And there's a reason why. The reason why is because at that height, you can't control your spacecraft with like fins and stuff. Like a plane has their control surfaces, but a rocket that goes up above 100 kilometers, you have to have like little jet thrusters and stuff so that they like shoot out cold gas so that you can actually control it. Otherwise you can't control it at all. That's the reason why they define that edge of space there. But so my problem with his, like they're defining it as edge of space versus not, I kind of thought that was a bit cheesy, but like they weren't really at the edge of space, like they were at like a third of the way there. So I actually wrote a whole article about that, and I was kind of like, but then I realized I was like one of those guys on the internet who gets mad about something, so I was just like, okay, whatever.
You left a comment, didn't you, Somnia? You left a comment.
I didn't. I totally didn't. I wrote an article on my blog and that was it. Yeah. I'm all nice like when I'm talking to you, but then when I get in the comments I'm just like brutal, like I just yeah. Of course, right?
I stay away from your blog for that reason. I'm scared. I told you before, the anger, I can see it in your eyes. In that picture, you just like, ugh.
Oh, well, that was because of the sweater, though.
Don't you dare. That sweater was fabulous. It was such a good jumper. It did nothing but look fabulous on you.
It was fun. I'll admit, that was fun. Okay. To space. To space. Here we go. Okay, so I am all set to go, I think. So,
cool.
Let's try it. We'll see if Valentina likes this as well.
Stargazer says hi.
What's going on hi. We're going to space, Star.
We're flying.
We're flying. Well, not yet.
Yeah.
But soon. Okay, here we go.
We're gonna
3,
try.
2,
go,
1. Here we go.
It's quite anticlimactic for me because I've got to wait.
I know. I had this whole countdown.
3, 2, 1. Hi, Figgy. Figgy says hi.
Oh, hey, Figgy. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of just slowing down. I know you're still on the pad, but I'm slowing down. You don't want to go too fast because you can actually burn up in the atmosphere, which is a bad thing, usually.
Yeah. Unless you wanted that space tan.
Yeah. So I'm actually slowing, like I'm pulling my throttle back to slow down a little bit. And this is actually something that happens in like real rockets and stuff. And there's do you remember SpaceX a couple months back? They actually had an accident. Do you remember that at all? That happened at what's called max Q, which is the most amount of like aerodynamic pressure you'll get on a rocket. So that's it's not like at your fastest. It's when you're like in like the deep heavy part of the atmosphere, but you're still accelerating. And that's like the most dangerous part of a rocket launch, basically. It's tricky because Uh-oh. Something's looking weird. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry. I was looking at my parachute and it was red. And I thought like I'd actually...
scared me then. I was like, in 3 seconds we're gonna blow up.
I scared myself, to be fair.
I was like, oh god, what am I gonna see? Valentina, no! Valentina does look very happy. She's super happy. She has full trust in you, Somnia.
She does.
That little Kerbal. We're gonna see soon if the trust is misplaced.
Well, you'll see on the stream.
It's not. She's gonna be fine.
Okay, so I think this is pretty much where what you're seeing now is where I was saying uh-oh, because the parachute on the side is red. But all it was saying was that we were not in the right conditions to deploy it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So I was really worried. So you can see me like highlighting it and stuff. And okay, but we're actually going to go up to 140 kilometers. So for Kerbal, space is 70 kilometers, and Kerbal is actually smaller than like the Earth. I forget exactly how big it is. It's like 600 kilometers, 600 kilometer radius or something like that for the sphere of Kerbal. Earth is like 6,000 kilometers or something, like it's pretty big. So it's similar to to the Earth, but it's a little bit different. And one of the ways it's different is
600 kilometers is Kerbal.
600? Okay. You're looking it up on Okay.
I went on the wiki.
You went on the wiki. Okay, cool. So it's 600 kilometers, and then it has the Mun instead of the moon. And it also has another moon, which is a little bit smaller. And that's called Minmus. Which is actually, it's supposed to be made of ice cream, actually. So...
yeah, it looks like icy stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you actually do like science, it tells you it's made of like ice cream, which is kind of funny. So let's just see. We're right near our highest point. So yeah, we're doing all right. I'm just gonna zoom out and show you like the rest of the Kerbal system thing. So they have the sun, they have Eve. Eve is like Eve. Yeah, Eve is cool. Eve is like Venus. And there's somebody I know on Twitter who he found this paper by some guys in NASA, and they want to take like old like rocket engines that you use to get to Eve, fill it with like helium or like just air, and then when you bring it into the atmosphere of Venus, it will actually float in the atmosphere because it's so dense.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you could have like floating sky cities on Venus. It's really cool. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, and the weird part is the height that it floats at, it's like Earth-like temperatures and pressures. Except you also get so you'd be able to get like a society that would like a civil or a colony that would actually function pretty well there. But I mean, there's stuff like sulfuric acid clouds that you'd have to figure out how to not like a void or something. but I mean, it's details,
Don't
right?
rush into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be floating around Venus. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So
What's
it's kind of cool.
doing there? That sounds like...
Okay, I think I'm gonna go back in. We're at about 100 kilometers. Yeah, I'll show you the rest. I actually did like a flyby of Elu when there's the whole flyby of Pluto with New Horizons, and I was really excited about that and stuff. So, yeah, that's basically it. Okay, so we're coming in. I could turn my flight computer off. Yeah, that's basically it. She is ecstatic. Like, I'm just looking at her and she's just like got the biggest grin. It's funny.
She is so funny.
Yeah. You can actually do like an IVA.
I love her googly eyes. So googly eyes.
Yeah. So I can go right in the spaceship and like look around and stuff. There's other modules that have like other Kerbals too, and you can actually like go in and like I could actually fly from here. Oops. How do I get out of here?
Oh.
I always forget how to get out. There we go.
Turn to... Don't open it.
No, not a good time to open it. And not a good time to open the parachute either.
No. Oh, you can see in the little window above our head. It's all like red and flashy.
Yeah.
Yep, we're burning up.
Well, not quite. Almost.
No, we're not going to die. Hopefully.
Not gonna die. Okay, deploy the parachute. And we can warp a bit. Geez, the chat is very active.
Yeah. I'm trying to reply where I can.
I know, I haven't been watching it like almost at all. So I'm just trying to read some of it. I know, I'm a bad streamer. Thank you everybody for joining me. I'm so happy about this though.
Oh, we're
okay.
in the water.
We're in the water, yeah. So I'm gonna get a crew report and I can get Valentina to do an EVA. We'll do an EVA report. Take data, store data. She can actually like go and swim. It's all fun. EVA report.
Oh, she can come out in the water.
Yeah.
Swim, catch some fish.
And we'll board and you didn't want me to board? Okay.
No, it's fine. I was just looking at her outfit and how that could be improved. Oh.
You know, I
Red
don't
and white.
yeah. I don't know if you can actually like change their outfit, but I know you can change I know you can change some stuff, like some mods, like the rocket parts you can change. I don't know about their outfits, but Squad is actually pretty good at listening to their audience. So if there's more and more people that want to like change their outfits, I'm pretty sure they'd find a way to make it happen, sort of thing, if they can. Sort of depends on the code. And
do all the Kerbals look the same?
Pretty much. You can go into... I'm going to go in the astronaut building. So you have your main ones, which are always with like the green or the orange suit or whatever. And then you have a bunch of different other Kerbals. So you can hire more Kerbals as you get more missions and stuff. We can't right now. I think you might actually be able to rename them. I don't know if you can rename them though. Oh, you might be able to like name them by changing some like config files, like outside of the game before you load it. But that's okay. Which is actually that'd be a cool way to. What's that?
It just came up and I was looking at them and then I was like, what are the bars? And it was courage and stupidity.
Oh yeah.
So
you know,
funny.
I have no idea how that actually affects it either. Like I don't know that it does affect it at all, which is kind of funny. But
yeah, it's just
yeah.
Probably just one of those things that maybe the more stupid they are, the more smiley they are. Maybe Valentina's just really silly. She doesn't understand.
She doesn't understand.
Doesn't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, but it's fair.
That's funny. Okay, I'm actually gonna go for advanced rocketry. Because it gives us a really good engine. And I'll show you that in just a second. And then the other thing that I want to do is stability. Do I have enough? I don't have enough. Oh, well, that's too bad. Okay. Okay, so we've got... Still have that stacked decoupler to test, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to try getting to orbit. So we need more kind of thrust or more delta V. And there's a couple of ways you can go about doing that. One is, so like for this stage that I'm going to be changing here, I can try to add more fuel tanks. Actually, I can go ahead with a new fuel tank. So I can add a bigger fuel tank, and then if I put the same engine on, it gives me a little bit more delta V. So you can get more delta V by putting more stuff in, like a bigger rocket, right?
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is make it more efficient. So the efficiency, if you right click on it, you want to look at the ISP, engine ISP. So the ISP for this is 270 at sea level, 320 in a vacuum. Higher is better in this. Bigger is better in this one, in that number. So if I look at this new engine, the Terrier, right click, oops. Yeah, so my ISP is 345 in a vacuum. So what this means is it's basically throwing the stuff out, like the rocket fuel, out the back faster. That's all it relates to. And because it's throwing it out faster, you get more push. That's kind of how to look at it. So now if I look, if I put that engine on the same stage, I had the other engine on it as well, and I, instead of like 1.6, I get 2.4. So you can see it's like a much more efficient engine. The only problem is at sea level it's got an efficiency of 85, so it's not very efficient at sea level. It's like a made for in space basically. And then its thrust is actually what's its thrust here? Let me just see. Yeah, the thrust is quite a bit lower than the other one too. So it's actually a less powerful engine, but it's so much more efficient that it's like a really good second stage one. So we're going to use that. I'm going to take these guys off. And let's put the rest of this back on. So you can see we're getting pretty close to like how much we need. Oops. You can just go away.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do okay, so just to get a little bit more thrust, like a little bit more power, I'm actually gonna put a couple more engines on here. We'll see if this works. I have no idea if it will or not.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm just playing around with the like configs a bit and trying different sizes.
No, it's cool.
Okay, so we're too heavy. That's not good. I guess I could go with this. This should be good enough, actually. Yeah, we should be able to get to orbit with this. But we need fins. Okay. Okay, so this is our rocket that's going to go to orbit. We've got 4.7 delta V. So that's pretty much all we need. Sam's or you know what? Sam's spacey big cannon. You like that name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything with my name on it.
Although I've noted if you could have like sparkles on there and purple flashbangs and stuff, it'd be better.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, I think we're all good though.
You know what it needs? You know those ribbons that little kids get on their bike handles?
Oh yeah.
Some of them on the fins.
Okay, you know, next time we do this, I'm gonna be looking for like mods like that, just so that you can have like the sparkles and totally doing it.
You're doing all the science, and I'm just doing the exterior design.
That's fine. It'd be kind of fun.
We gotta be walkway. We gotta be runway ready. When we get out,
launch pad ready.
Everyone's gonna want your photo. Yeah. Oh yeah. That could be it. Our launch pad collection by Somnia and Sam.
I need to figure out how to mod this because I need to add these mods in. Like, okay. Okay, so we're good to go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and launch. And the difference between going to orbit and going just up into space, like up to the 100 kilometers, is you need to go really fast sideways on top of going like really high. So we're gonna have to start turning, and I'll kind of talk as I'm doing this stuff. I'll talk about like what I'm doing and why. the tricky part is you don't want to turn too early, because then you're just in the atmosphere and you're just going to burn up in the atmosphere basically. So you want to start turning kind of at the right time, sort of thing. Yeah, let's just go. I'll launch. It gets really loud when I launch, and it's like...
Okay. That's like, I can't hear the in-game sounds.
Oh yeah, because you don't have Twitter or Twitch on, right?
Yeah, I thought 2 Somnias would just be a little bit too much. No offense.
Can never have enough Somnia.
I love your soothing tones, but 2 of you might just...
That's funny.
So is gravity the same on Kerbal as in like?
It's actually different, I think.
Okay.
I forget exactly how much. You could probably find it on the wiki. But it is a little bit different. I think it's
a superb idea.
Yeah. Well. Well, and the other thing too is, if you actually calculate how much gravity is on the surface of the Earth, it's related to like how far away you are from like the center point of the Earth, right? Because that's how gravity works. The farther away you are, the less it is, which is why that's basically all orbital mechanics is based on, is how that works, sort of thing. So for Kerbal, it works the same way, but they had to kind of redefine it so that it was like more or less the same at the surface, I think. So there's some different parts, but yeah. Okay, so I'm slowly kind of like trying to tip over a little bit, but not quite too much. And trying to stay not too fast. So I'm up to like 400 meters a second, which is a little bit fast, but it's not too bad. Actually, we're up at 30 kilometers. I think we're okay.
Just to answer the question, yes, the tassels will have to be fireproof. And high bay.
Oh my god, that's so
How have you thought of that? Because I didn't even think of that, and that could have been a disaster. We don't want that kind of headline.
No.
Launchpad not ready. Fire consumes Kerbal's tassels. Oh, I'm trying to think of a funny joke, but I can't think of one now. Which means I've failed the joke off.
There is all kinds of like funny jokes that could be had here. Like, I mean, we're talking about a giant rocket. I mean, that's just a joke in itself, right? Okay, so what I've done is I've gotten our apoapsis above 70 kilometers. Now, what we want to do is we want to start going really, really fast sideways. So I'm just going to go full throttle here. So the most efficient is when you're kind of pointing straight, or like in the direction you're going. I'm kind of being a little bit more aggressive here by just kind of pointing down a little bit. And the reason why it's the most efficient is you don't waste any energy kind of going somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you want to try to point it straight as much as possible. There are some tools that I could show you maybe next time that will kind of help you with these maneuvers and stuff. But for the first few times, I usually try to do it myself. And I think you need to get to like around 2,000 meters a second. But we'll slow down a little bit.
Okay.
It's tricky because if you like start accelerating like a little bit too late, you can actually miss going into orbit. Like you'll start falling back and even though you're adding more and more speed on, you're actually going like into the atmosphere, and so you're slowing down because of that. So it's really tricky to kind of get the right times and different stuff like that. So, but I think I got this one under control. Usually if you're do you know what the apple abscess means?
Nope.
Okay. I kind of didn't think so, because that's just, it's not usually something people learn, I think. So anything with an orbit, you're going to have a part of the orbit that's really close to whatever you're flying by. And you're going to have a part of the orbit that's really far. So the farthest part is called your apo, and in this case it's apoapsis. So that's the furthest part in your orbit, like the furthest away from Kerbal in this case. If you can actually look, and there's apogee as well. They change it based on what you're orbiting. So like if you're talking about the Earth, an apogee is the furthest away from the Earth you are. And the closest you are is always peri something. So in this case it's periapsis, and for Earth it's perigee. So what we've got to do is get our perigee, which is right now in Kerbal. We're in Kerbal with our perigee. Another joke there, I'm sure.
I'm just gonna skim over.
You're just gonna skim them.
I'll quietly cook for myself.
I couldn't resist it. I'm sorry. It was terrible.
You're terrible. You are terrible.
I am terrible.
Honestly.
You could dress me up, but you can't take me out.
What can I say? I'm a cheap date.
You're a cheap date.
Not as in I'm a cheap date to take out. I mean, I'll take you out cheap.
Oh!
As in, I'll get you dressed. Go, yeah, come on out. We're gonna have pizza in the living room. Words right now. I'm trying to come up with space jokes. That's what it is.
You're trying to just talk about Uranus. That's a joke right there. Actually, I got a good one. Do you know what Uranus used to be called?
No.
It used to be called George.
Okay, why?
Because the scientist who discovered it was doing work for King George. That was his funder. And so like any good funder of a science thing, if he discovers something, he names it after King George. So there was a while there where there was what is that? That's the seventh planet. There were 7 planets in the solar system, like in textbooks. There were 7 planets. It was Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, and George. And there was like textbooks like in like a little sliver of time where, and I think it's Neil deGrasse Tyson who always talks about this. Like he's seen those textbooks where they have George as the like 7th planet. Yeah. And
they should. Cool, George. I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of it's interesting.
But how on earth did they get from George to Uranus?
Well, okay. So they called it.
Were they showing someone through a telescope? Someone bent over and they went, "Oh, it's you."
No, they decided they couldn't have it named George just because that's not really like a planetary name. And so
why?
I don't know. You'd have to go and ask like the scientists of the day and figure out exactly why.
I will go and I will ask. I will go back in time and I'll ask them why. George is a perfectly respectable name.
You should tweet Neil deGrasse Tyson and say like, why couldn't they keep George?
Why isn't it called George? Why can't I have pink tassels on my rocket?
Okay, you can have pink tassels. We're gonna have that. I'm gonna work really hard to get that. But the George part though, I have no idea. Like you'd have to ask them. But the neat part about it is, the reason why they changed it to Uranus was they always used Roman gods for planet names. So Mercury, Venus, Mars, they're all Venus. Roman gods, right? Yeah. So what they decided to do was they decided to keep calling the gods by Roman gods. So Uranus was one of the Roman gods, and that was just...
Was he?
Yeah. So that's
the
why...
Roman god of what?
What's that?
The Roman god of what?
I don't know. I'm not going to venture a guess because it's going to be really inappropriate. Just saying.
I'll find it out.
I'll find it out.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. He was the primal Greek god personifying the sky.
Ah?
He was Greek. His equivalent in Roman mythology was Callius, Caelus. Celius, Callius. He was father of the sky.
Okay, he was a Roman god though, right? Because they're supposed to be Roman.
Uranus is Greek.
Uranus is Greek? Huh.
Yeah, it says he's Greek. The I don't know how to pronounce it. Caelus is like the Roman version.
Huh. Well, that's weird.
That's what Google could be wrong.
Well, because like Jupiter is the Roman version of Zeus, right? So like that's why Jupiter was it's the Roman equivalent to the Greek god. So I'm kind of surprised that Uranus is actually the Greek one, because it's supposed to be the other way around. But I don't know my mythology that well.
Maybe they just, after George, they probably just wanted to switch it up a bit.
Maybe. Well,
that's what I'm going.
They did change. There is something else that's different about like the naming of Uranus and compared to the rest of the solar system. So the rest of the solar system, they like if you look at the moons of Saturn or you look at the moons of Jupiter, Jupiter is the Roman god, and Zeus had a whole bunch of like companion mini gods because it wasn't like a monotheistic religion or thing at the time, right? So because it had a bunch of companion gods, and as people started looking through telescopes at Jupiter, they started finding little moons around it. And you could even look at Jupiter today, like with a big pair of binoculars, like a nice pair of binoculars, and you could see moons that move around. And it's really cool. Like I've seen them; they're awesome. So what they were doing was they were taking those moons and they would name them after the Greek lesser gods of Zeus, like companions of Zeus, so that it would kind of pay homage to both Roman and Greek philosophy and stuff. So that's kind of how they named the moons. But what's different with Uranus is all of the moons of Uranus are actually named after Shakespearean characters, so that it pays homage to. I didn't know that. Yeah, so it pays homage to, like, because they didn't want to piss off the British, because it was the biggest empire at the time, right?
Yes.
So
yes, we are. That is a very good point.
So they basically said for a while there was George, and the science community basically went to King George and said, we don't want to name it George. We want to name it Uranus.
But that went down well.
Yeah, I'm sure it went down well. but we don't want to. But we don't want to piss you off, so we're gonna name all of the moons of George or of Uranus now after after Shakespeare's moon characters. So, you know, that conversation was probably really funny, actually.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Ooh, I would like an audience with the king to discuss Uranus.
I'm sure they had to call back like 20 times and tell them, no, look, I'm like, this is Isaac Newton calling. Like, come on, I need to get in with meet with the king. Like, sure, you're Isaac Newton, right? Hang up.
Definitely. And I don't know if you've seen the chat.
I've been kind of reading it a little bit.
But hey, that is hilarious. Oh. Sorry, there is a small matter to be discussed regarding your I'm gonna start crying.
Okay. I gotta go soon, so I've gotta land this. We're actually in orbit. Yay, we're in orbit.
Yay!
Through all those jokes, we're in orbit. So, it's really cool in orbit, like in this. And this isn't even like the modded one. You could see the mun. You can actually get like modded stuff that makes it look like even better. But this is just like the basics.
Yeah.
So, let's go into the map. Here's as good a place as any to fire our rockets. So we want to be firing backwards. So this is called a retrograde. Oops. This is going to be, if you fire prograde, you're firing in the direction that you're moving. If you fire retrograde, you're in the opposite direction. So in order to land, we want to fire retrograde, but the reason why is so that we can move the orbit on the opposite side. So you can't see this, but I'm actually pointing to the opposite side of our orbit. We want to move that kind of down towards near the surface. That's how we get back from orbit. So I'm just going to start firing, and we're going to watch the orbit move. And I'm just trying to watch these numbers so that we get the right height. You basically want to get down to about 20 or 30 kilometers, and that should be far enough. How much fuel do we have? We don't have much, actually. But we have enough.
Uh-oh.
No, we have enough.
Don't say that.
I've been there where I didn't have enough fuel to get back. So I got to like 60 kilometers. And you have a little bit of an atmosphere there, but not much. So it took a lot of time just like going back and forth, waiting for this thing to like actually enter the atmosphere, like to actually start falling down into the atmosphere. Like it took me like 20 orbits or something. So it happens. It's terrible, but it happens. Okay, so we're going back this way. I'm gonna separate the stage. So we're basically, we're in orbit. I guess I could take a crew report. Get a little bit of science. Eventually we could take, we can do EVAs, so we can actually like come outside the spacecraft and stuff, which is really cool.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Spacewalk. Yeah,
it's really tricky. Like the first time you do it, you're just like all over the place. So, but yeah,
they just float off.
It's a danger. Like you don't want to float off, but
it looks like so much fun.
All Okay, so I'm gonna just warp. Okay, so we're into the atmosphere now.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to have the side that can like take the heat towards. Yeah, so the bottom is kind of the side that you want to be entering the atmosphere with. And imagine that. Are you laughing because I said you want to enter with your bottom?
Yes.
Okay, chat, you're gonna just go crazy with this one.
It's just how seriously you say it. You're like, you want to enter with the bottom? I'm trying to be serious. I am, Somnia. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm gonna be serious.
Oh, don't
Whilst
worry.
Googling children's space jokes.
Okay.
I've got a good one for you. Why did the cow go in the spaceship?
I don't know.
It wanted to see the moon.
That's funny.
Oh. Re-entry is definitely to be done bum first, dear sir. Oh, my eye's watering now.
You know, it took some really smart people to figure that out, though. Like, you would not believe, like, because at the time, everybody was thinking about, like, this was back in, like, the 50s and 60s, or early 50s, or mid-50s, and nobody knew exactly how to come back from orbit. They were kind of thinking of going to orbit and, like, building these big rockets. But whenever they would try to figure out a way to come back, they would always make it like these really sleek designed spaceships. And when they would test it out and do simulations and stuff, it would never work. And it took a long time for people to figure out that you had to come in bum first. And I'm not joking. It was a really hard problem to solve.
Oh no, I know.
You know what? Next time next time we do a stream like this, I've got the name of the guy who figured out how to come in bum first. Although he didn't call it that. I'll just say that.
That's the name of his report.
Yeah.
10 years worth of study and research on how to safely get back into the Earth's atmosphere. Bottom first.
You know, yeah, it was a lot of research. Like, it was a lot of trial and error, and
I'm sure they had lots of fun with bottoms. I'm sure they did.
Do you want to know what it's actually called?
No.
No. It's called the ablative reentry, because as you're entering, like, the part of the spacecraft that's coming in first, like the fat part, it's actually ripping little
the fat bottom.
The fat bottom, yeah, the fat bottom. You're gonna like this, actually. It's like a dietary thing.
I'm being serious.
It actually rips, like, parts of the fat bottom off, or like it burns it off. Like, it vaporizes it and it burns off. So they call that ablative. Yeah, it does sound painful.
Yeah. Does that not, like, do a lot of damage to it though? How do you get it back in without it totally just disappearing, if that's what it's doing?
Yeah, it's the type of material that you put there. You put material that actually burns up, basically. And material that will, like, any of the parts that crack and fall off will like they're designed to heat up, take a lot of the energy, and then heat up and then break off. And I think the more recent ones don't tend to have as much ablative stuff, but they still have this design. Like they're designed to they're basically designed to re-enter and heat up and take the energy into their heat tiles without actually having to ablate, sort of thing. But the very first ones, they just had no choice. It was the only way. They didn't know the right materials and stuff.
They didn't know about the bottom.
They knew about the bottom. They just thought you had to burn it off, not like put like heat sensitive
exactly. They
tiles.
didn't know how to efficiently. They didn't know how to efficiently protect their bottom.
Yeah, the chat is just. What's insulting? What was insulting, Figgy? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. The fat bottom?
Yeah, I think it was the fat bottom.
It was the fat bottom.
I think so.
That's funny. Okay, once we land... What's that?
No, I was just pinging bubbles, that's why I was a bit distracted.
Oh, that's okay. Okay.
Anyway, in the water. Oh, yellow.
Yeah, in the water.
That parachute would look better with a unicorn on it. I don't know. I just see what Bay said. Another successful bottom re-entry for Somnia.
Oh my god.
I only just stopped laughing and now started again.
This is funny. When you do the EVA report...
One of many, Bay. One of many.
When you do the EVA report here on Kerbal, like in the water, they say, I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of funny. Okay, I don't think we can get any more.
It's just like flapping around in the water.
Yeah. I don't think she can get back in the... Sometimes it's hard to get back.
She's clearly not an Olympic swimmer.
No. More like an Olympics
yes, rainbow
flopper.
Unicorn shoot. Rainbow coloured unicorn parachute, please.
Okay, I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna hopefully find something. If not, I'm gonna have to figure out how to mod this myself. Because this has to happen. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's basically it. We're all done. Yeah. We went to orbit. It's getting...
No Kerbals died.
No Kerbals died. The sun is setting on our space center, and that's basically it. So
mission complete.
Mission complete. We've got another bit of science we can use to unlock more parts, and we could start like actually getting satellites in orbit and that sort of stuff. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'm probably not going to keep this world though, because there are some mods that I want to use that are a little bit different, or like I want to add in and stuff. So yeah, I might change up for the next stream, but we'll see. So I hope you could join me again. Did you have fun?
No, it was terrible. Worst stream ever.
It was terrible? Oh, now you tell me.
No, I'm joking. No, I had lots and lots of fun.
Yeah, lots of awesome.
You know
okay.
I did. I cried. God damn it. No, it was
That's
really fun.
fun.
I learned a lot.
Okay, I'm glad.
I'm not quite a rocket scientist, but we're getting there.
Well, I mean, did you kind of follow most of what I was doing there, or were there any questions you had or anything? Or no? I
followed everything. No, you explained it rather well.
Okay.
Helps that I'm a genius, but you know.
This is true.
I'm a genius with passion. Shut up.
This is known.
Sorry, I don't know if you heard him.
I did. That was pretty funny.
Terrible.
Okay, well, I have to get going. We've got to get going for lunch. And yeah, thanks. Thank you so much for joining me. Everybody in chat.
Thank you for having me.
It was awesome. 6 viewers. Wow, we got 6 viewers. That was pretty cool.
It was awesome.
When I was walking around at BTM, I was talking to some of the guys in there, and they were asking me, how many people do you have streaming? Like, how many viewers do you have watching you right now? And I'm like, I don't have any. They're like, oh, great. I'm like, whatever. But it happens.
Yeah.
It's okay. I had fun, though.
It's not a regular thing, though.
Yeah. Well, and
no, that's what it's about. It's about having fun.
yeah, exactly. And I don't mind, like, if I stream for nobody or for 0 viewers and I put it up on YouTube after, somebody can enjoy it, I'm sure. And I had fun streaming that and kind of going around and seeing all those different booths and stuff. And speaking of which, I still got to edit some of that stuff down. But, oh well. All right. So I think I'm going to sign off. So, yeah. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys.
No, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'll see you again soon. We'll do it again soon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. You can't get rid of me. Mwah.
I can't. No, I can't.
Alright, see you later.
Okay. See you later.
No,
Bye.
I'm going to go. Bye.
Bye.